A very good day. Welcome to the virtual tour of Natec. And today I'm talking to Albert Assen from SolarStell. And I see you in a beautiful demo room. I see a Tesla in the background.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about what happened last year, what's happening with the new products, and what we expect for the business. Albert, how have you been doing in this crazy 2020?
Yeah, well, crazy is, I think, a good description. Personally, I've done fun. Sometimes it's a little bit boring, especially in the weekends.
You've been working at home. You've been working, well, you are still now at the office. I mean, but how, of course, you have a manufacturing plant, so people have to be in the office. But what about all the engineers and all the creative R&D? How did that work out?
Yeah, people, of course, work at home. I do the same. And like a lot of people, I think in Holland, I've also been a little bit of a teacher for my 7-year-old daughter, which was it's easier to run a factory. Yeah, it's easier to run a factory than give education to a 7-year-old. So I'm glad schools are open again. And it was a crazy year, and I'm hoping that when with the spring and the summer coming, we can leave this behind us and focus on the fun things of life again, especially also.
How have you been doing with the business? Were you able to supply the products? Did the logistic part? Didn't you have problems with China, etc.?
No, to be honest, because we don't have a supply chain from China because we source only in the Netherlands. Of course, we have our own factory and our. I'm looking for the English word now, but our suppliers are coming from Holland, so it comes into a factory, and then we build the products ourselves. That was not a problem. The problem, especially, was labor, because we work with a lot of people. We call that with a distance to the labor market. And what we saw, especially in the first stage of Corona, in March, April, May, was that those people didn't come to work because they thought that they had to work at home or stay at home. But of course, with a factory job, that's difficult. So we had a lot of problems with supply, and it was combined with explosive growth, especially of our flat roof system, which we calculated to the market, but that became a success. So we had a lot of labor problems, and we had a lot of demand on that product, which and that really hurt us in September, October. We stopped taking on new customers, so we stopped the business to just deliver the business to the customers we already had.
Wow. Yeah.
From my point of view, that's a hard decision. I think it's good that we did it, and it created some peace of mind to work on ideas and how we could improve that. So that's we had, business-wise, we had a great year because we had.
So even though you had to basically stop delivering to new clients, you were able to serve the clients you currently have. And how did the whole year end up? Did you grow or did you shrink?
No, we are not used to talk really hard numbers, but I know that what the market basically did in residential and project business, and we outgrew
17%. 17% was last year. Okay, so you outgrew the market. So amazing. You have a huge problem. I mean, the whole world stops, and you still are able to do growth. So that's really wonderful. So let's talk about what's happening new. What's happening with your engineering and your manufacturing plant. You have some new ways of organizing your company. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, what we did in last year in the summer, we really stepped outside of our business because and looked at it with a view on what's going well and what is going all right, because that was running. But what do we need to change if you take a look at your company? What's our biggest problem? And our biggest problem we felt was research and development and engineering. Because we have a factory, we have a lot of people with ideas in how to build a product. And then you make a concept. But what we did is we took out R&D and engineering, and they left the factory. They left Zwolle, where the factory is, and they moved to Amersfoort. So we physically took them. Our designers, product management, and our engineers are working now from a new location where the rest of the organization.
I can imagine that gives a lot of focus. That gives a lot of focus, because if you combine manufacturing and R&D, that's always that's beautiful, and that's a challenge. So they now have their own separate place,
Yeah.
and they basically have their own focus. So that should improve the innovation power of your company.
Yeah, I think the first results we see now from March 1st, because we do a big upgrade of a flat roof system, and in the remainder of the year we will surprise the market, I think, again. But that's something for after the summer. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Wow.
that's from an organization point, and we started producing in a different way. So we made a lot of investments in the way we produce our flat roof system, which gives us a better product, but gives us the opportunity. So the gross production capacity has grown 400%. So we are able to produce
400%.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And it's
Those
not.
are.
I know it sounds big, and if you
It
look
is
back,
big.
but if you look back, it was a very simple decision, and we could have taken that before. But that's the nice thing on doing business, and we discovered a way to produce the product by coincidence.
Wow.
And that happened in the spring last year. And then in the summer, we made the decision to make the investment. And now we are 7-8 months in time ahead. And now the products are coming out. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about your products, because I mean, I remember when we talked last time, you just introduced a new version, a beta version of a flat roof system, and I thought it was beautiful, and so I want to know what happened. It had so few parts, and it was so easy to set up, and it was a complete new way of doing it. So how is that product doing now?
That product drove our growth in 2020. So we found a lot of installers interested in the product and buying it. But to be honest, I think the story and the concept is very good. Only five articles, very few SKUs, so stock keeping units.
Yeah.
Very easy to install, but
it was the first version. It was the first version. You need to basically go to the. Of course, the first version has always new things and problems and issues, and you learned a lot. So, what's happening now with that product? Because I thought it was elegant, it was beautiful, it was simple, and also if you can produce it much easier, that's great news. So, where are you now in that phase?
Yeah, well, we are producing now. So, what we do in February is our customers in these weeks will receive the last of the system as it was, which was a okay, good system. But we learn a lot from installers on the roof, and they told us you had a great idea, but you can make some
improve.
That's what we did.
Improve.
So starting in the second week of March, customers will see the new product arrive on the roofs. No new article numbers, so the concept of the product, with very few parts, everything is the same, but the way it looks and feels and is functioning has become a lot better.
Okay, so let's take a look at these. Let's take a look at that improved version of the product. So you say it's the same product numbers and it's basically the same concept, but a lot of things have changed. So this is the basic element. What has changed about that?
Now this is the whole product what you see. But if you look at the base element, which is of course the part below. So let's leave the image here, Vincent. Is what we used to do, and when Corona is over, we invite customers in our factory. We used to do metal work where we had to use 8 machines to create that product. And then the product goes from machine to machine to machine, and then we have to do something manually. And what we now do basically is we invested in a big tool, and what we do is we do it like this, and you have a product.
Wow! Wow! What a delight!
And what that means is that
no quality problems, no steps, no problems between one person and the other. Everything fits.
Everything fits always, because it's every time the same procedure. So where we used to have all these machines, which they all have some millimeters of variation, and now we are back to 0.05 millimeters variation that can exist, which is It's a huge improvement. It always
So
fits.
I tell you somebody else who came up with the same idea. It's the guy behind you. You have
I
this
know.
Tesla thing, and he also had the same. He had a couple of parts from the Model Y, and there were 78 parts. 78 parts made by 25 robots. Now he has had the same kind of stamping machine, and bang, bang! It's now 1/3 of the whole car is made in one person. So that's basically what you've done. So that is a great idea, and I can imagine the quality improves quite dramatically, and the costs go down.
The procedure from the doors of a Tesla are exactly the same procedure we use now to build this product. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's fantastic. Okay, so that product is now by design and by manufacturing. It's now the quality is much higher, and you don't have any tolerances problem anymore.
Now,
Okay, so that's one thing.
It's more stiff. So as a whole, the product has become a lot more stiff. This, of course, is important on the roof, and what it also means is there's no sharp edges. With all the cables you have on the roof laying around and moving, you want to eliminate every sharp edge on the product. And because of this procedure we use right now, we never have a sharp edge.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so that is a big, huge step, and I can imagine that's much easier. What else is new about this? What else is new?
What you see on the upright position is there's a cable clamp. We used to have a cable clamp, and I think we are the only one in the market who's integrated it in the product. So you don't have to buy it as a separate part and install it on the roof. It's already in there. We assemble it ourselves. But the thing what happened, we only had a cable clamp where the cable was hanging in, and now on the front you see those three, especially there, you can clamp. You think, well, that's simple and makes sense to do it, but the customer had to tell us, you had a great idea, it's great that you install it already in your factory, but please change it so I can fix the cable. Now that's what we did. So we threw away the old design, made a new design, and now this is standard. It looks like this starting March 1st.
One of the things I really appreciate about about you is that you really work together with the installers. I mean, you invite them to your to the demo room, which is next to the factory. You listen to their thing. You also react. I mean, that's a lot of people say they listen, but it's really hard to have this whole process of manufacturing, R&D, and to really listen. So you did that. So that's really good. Okay.
But Vincent, it's not. I mean, it's not because we are still a reasonably small company. It's easy to do. But engineers. Steve Jobs can tell great stories about engineers. So sometimes it's a struggle because then, from a market and sales point of view, we go back to engineering and we have big talks. What you designed, well, it deserves a 7 right now, but we want to have a 9. And to create a 9, you have to do this. So that's, I think, a strength of our company, and also the beautiful thing of a company, because our engineers are not like this looking at their designs. They are visiting customers. We tell them to go on the roofs and listen to customers. So not salespeople listen to the customers, but our engineer is on the roof with the customer. And when an engineer tells you that the idea is nice, but we have to do better, then we have to do it better. And that's what we really learned the last 2 years.
That's wonderful. Okay, so that is going to happen from March. This new product is going to come to the market, and every part of it has been smarter and higher quality and less problems with tolerance, so it's easier to install. You also have a way. You told me you have a way to help people to connect to your product, because I mean installers of course are always used to having a certain way of using a product, and you know what you have, you don't know what you don't have. How do you basically break through that? How do you help people to install it for the first time?
Yeah, but especially what you said, what we learned is then a new product is coming, and the guys on the roof, because they just want to install, and they want to make a great pace. And what we learned from that is nowadays, when a new customer is buying our product for the first time, we have a guy who's there in the morning at 7 o'clock to help the customer for the first time install the product. So not in a clean demo room environment, but on the roof. He tells the guy the tips and tricks. He helps them to set up the first panels, and after 1.5, 2 hours, he's gone. And we really notice, and we feel now that that's the way to do it. So not just deliver the product because the owner of the buyer bought the product, but also the guy on the roof to help them the first couple of times. And if we have to do it 3 times, we do it 3 times. If we have to do it 5 times, we have to do it 5 times. Some customers have 20 teams, so that's a lot of teams to train. But we do that as a service, and that's really helped us the last couple of months to the adaptation of the product with the customer is staying. So
it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming to have a new system, and of course, the system is simple and it's 5 parts, and it's really not. And you have watched a video of you have been to the demo place, but then when you are in a very chaotic situation, which is every building site is chaotic. There's always. It really helps them to put. Okay, so I think that's a great idea. And do they have to pay for that, or is that service?
No, that's service. That's ours. Yeah.
Okay, so I can come to you. I can come to your demo room there. I can get training for my team, and you help me in the first couple of times. You help me until my team says, "Hey, we can dream this. There's no problem anymore." Okay, so that's very useful. So if we take all this together, the new products and the new service and the new training, what do you expect for 2021 and 2022?
We expect to grow, and we have to grow because, as you probably know, there's a lot of consolidation going on in our market. So I think the market leader is following a strategy to buy some competitors. So the marketplace, the consolidation is going on, and as SolarStell, our big plan for 2023. So in 3 years' time, we want to double our installers. So that's an ambitious target, and that's huge. But in our sales department, with our products, we absolutely believe that we are going to do that. So, and all the things we do right now is
prepare for that growth. But I mean, hey, Albert, you've already done the difficult things. You've redesigned. You have made a version 2 of the product. You have already done the manufacturing. You have the capacity at the moment, and you're basically giving people who help new installers to with the first time they try. So I mean, what else needs to be done? You're almost done. It will happen automatically because the market. I mean, the market. We will grow from 2021 to 2020, for 2020 to 2025. We'll go from 9 to 24 gigawatt. I mean, the market is growing already at that space. So you'll be doing fine, and you're ready for it. So
but I think our chunk from that market that's growing already needs to be bigger to follow up. And of course, I know everybody's talking about 2025 and also 2030, especially Biden signed the Paris Climate Accord. But at the end of the day, every time you think, and that's the beautiful thing about entrepreneurship, when you think you're ready and everything is running smoothly, something will happen. So we are prepared for that. We are flexible.
So let me ask you, Albert, what is keeping you up at night? What makes you sweat that you go, oh my God, I hope that goes on well?
I sleep all right. But to be honest, the elections in Holland could be, I think it's not going to be, if you look at the polls, it's going to be like a middle center, right or left government, which will probably stimulate new energy. But of course, there are also parties who said, well, we will throw away everything because climate change is a hoax and it's not happening. So that keeps me awake at night. But I think if I look at the polls right now, it's going to be more or less, I think, the same policies coming from the Hague here in Holland.
I think green is big, Albert, and I mean we basically committed to it. So I think the solar industry and your systems, which are essential to make that industry grow. I'm glad you basically have done the manufacturing. I'm glad you are focusing on R&D and all the new products. Will we see you in Munich in July? Will you come to Intersolar and will we be able to connect there and with your clients?
Of course, we will visit. We will not have a stand there.
Okay, but we will be able to meet each other, so I can basically we can talk to each other because I really look forward to see everybody in physical thing, and then I also want to come to your next time. I want to come to your demo place and make a video there because I mean I've now seen it twice. Now the third time I want to see it physical, and then I can drive with my Tesla to your Tesla. I mean, have you also? I heard that that everybody in the company is now moving to electric vehicles. Is that true?
Yeah, our everybody in our sales department now is driving 100% electrical. I think we have 4 diesel cars to go, and our aim is to delete them in the next 12 to 18 months. So the last one, I think, is aimed March 2022, and then everything is 100% electrical. We were a little bit reluctant in the first stage, but sales now is full aboard. So we are driving Tesla's and Volkswagen ID3. And the guys are very happy with it. So, yeah.
Wonderful. So, hey, Albert, I think you have a great company. You source from the Netherlands. You use all kinds of different people, from very, very intelligent to people who really need a job. Yeah. You've been able to show that that works. You're expanding manufacturing. You have big R&D. And you have a great product which looks fantastic. And it's in the second version. Good luck with the new introduction. And I'll see you in Munich.
Perfect. Nice to see you. See you in Munich.